He was a man who believed that art could heal what words never could. To him, a brushstroke wasn't just color on canvas. It was a way to speak truth in a world that rarely listened. His name was Elijah, a soft-spoken painter from the South Side, known for turning pain into beauty. He didn't have fame or wealth, but he had something stronger, a belief that light could still exist in dark places. One day that belief would be tested in ways he never imagined. Elijah's life was simple. His mornings began with the quiet creak of the studio door, the smell of turpentine, and the hum of a small radio that played old soul songs. He painted portraits of neighbors, children, and street vendors, faces that told stories the world ignored. Then came the call that changed everything. A local art gallery had recommended him to a high-profile client, a judge known for his strict discipline and spotless public image. The commission: to paint the judge's only daughter for her upcoming graduation. It was the kind of opportunity Elijah had waited his whole life for. When he first arrived at the judge's home, he felt the weight of the marble floors, the tall ceilings, and the silence. The daughter, Amelia, greeted him with a smile, warm, curious, and genuine. She had read about his work and admired how he painted emotion instead of perfection. For weeks, Elijah visited the mansion to paint her portrait. They spoke about art, music, and dreams. The sessions were professional, but the connection was human, one built on mutual respect and understanding. But soon, whispers began among the staff, and cautious glances followed him in the halls. Some people didn't see an artist. They saw something else. As the painting neared completion, the tension became harder to ignore. One afternoon, the judge returned home early. He stopped in the doorway, eyes fixed on the unfinished portrait, his daughter's face painted with light compassion and a freedom he didn't understand. "Who told you to paint her like that?" he asked, his voice cold. Elijah paused. "Sir, I painted her as she is," he replied quietly. The judge's expression hardened. "You don't understand how people will see this, how they'll see you." Word spread quickly. Rumors twisted the story into something it was not. Invitations were canceled. His next gallery show was quietly postponed. For the first time, Elijah felt the walls closing in on him, not because of what he did, but because of what people chose to believe. Still, he refused to destroy the portrait. He wrapped it carefully, signed his name, and sent it to Amelia with a note. Art is truth, even when people aren't ready to see it. Months passed. The world moved on. Elijah returned to painting in his small studio, quieter now but not defeated. One morning, as he opened his door, a letter waited on the step. It was from Amelia. She had entered his portrait into an independent art exhibition under his name. The painting won. The judges praised its honesty, its soul, and its courage. It went viral across social media, not because of controversy, but because of what it represented. A black artist who painted not power, but humanity. When reporters asked Elijah how it felt to finally be recognized, he simply said, "I didn't paint for fame. I painted so people could see each other." The same judge who once doubted him attended the exhibition in silence. For the first time, he looked at the painting not as a father or a man of power, but as a human being who had once been blind to his own prejudice. Elijah never spoke against him. He didn't need to. His art had already done what words could not. The portrait now hangs in a public museum, with a small plaque beneath it that reads, "Painted by Elijah Reed," a reminder that truth cannot be hidden behind titles or color. He still paints in that same small studio, using the same worn brushes and chipped jars of paint. But now, when he paints, he knows something deeper. Sometimes justice doesn't come in the form of punishment. Sometimes it comes quietly, through understanding, through courage, through the stroke of a single brush. Because when the world tried to erase his name, he signed it brighter. And maybe that's the greatest victory of all.